Hello, I'm Laura McHarrie at The Hidden Edge with another tea break tip with business models and tools to help you manage your growing business. Today, we're looking at exit strategies, really useful for planning properly to get maximum value. Every owner of a private business will have to exit at some point. They have two challenges in managing this well. One they can plan for, the other they can plan contingencies for. We're going to start with establishing various exit options. In this chart from Sale or Succession, John Hawkey identifies the business owner's personal preferences and needs along the top. Value, it concerns whether the option chosen is likely to achieve the maximum value to the earner. Risk, the degree of risk involved in bringing the disposal transaction to fruition. Control, the amount of control that the owner is likely to have over the running and the management of the business after the sale. Personal financial planning, does the transaction assist in the personal financial planning of the owner, or can it be structured to assist in this planning? Payment risk, the likelihood of the seller actually being paid for the total purchase price. Deal flexibility, the amount of flexibility that the transaction provides to the owner, including the payment terms and working in the business in some capacity after the sale. And finally, the personal satisfaction. How much satisfaction other than financial is the owner likely to derive from the transaction itself? Family succession. If you have heirs, you should explore this option first. The crucial first question is how suitable one or more of them is to the task of owning and running the business. Management buyout, MBO. The first question here is whether a suitable leader exists in the business who is interested in acquiring the business, around whom an MBO, management buyout team, can be built. If not, then we have to move on to the MBI option, that's the management buy-in. But if there is somebody, then you need to consider whether you have a suitable team of middle and senior managements that will support the new CEO designate. And of course, put up the money. Should there be no suitable leader in the business, the next step is to see whether a suitable CEO can be brought in, or alternatively, whether an outsider is interested in undertaking the management buyout, probably with venture capital support. Business merger. These happen all the time, but mergers are quite often not part of an exit strategy. What we are considering here is the choice of a merger as a deliberate exit strategy for sole traders or owners of very small businesses. The first consideration is to decide whether you can find a suitable business with which to merge, and whether the new owner of that business is of a like mind, both in wanting to merge and in general business philosophy. Possible, it would be worthwhile to undertake some informal research and discussions with the potential merger partners to progress the matter further before setting out formally to plan your exit through this route. Trade sale. A trade sale is the exit option most utilised by SMEs in the UK. On the face of it, a business needs no particular attributes to be disposed of in this way. Public listing. If your business is suitable for a flotation, this would probably be your first option. A public listing can represent a bonanza for the private business owner, not least because it provides flexibility in disposal, being the first stage in potentially a multi-stage exit plan. There are two hurdles in considering your business suitability for listing. They are compliance with the relevant stock exchange listing rules, which usually involve turnover and net asset value tests, and garnering investment support. Franchising. To establish whether your business is suitable for franchising, you need to ascertain whether the business has a system that can be taught or transferred to third parties who will be prepared to pay for the rights to use it. This means that the system itself would either have to be new or packaged in a new way, or that the products or services would have to be new or presented in a new way. Obviously, your business will have to be working well and trading profitably. The other consideration is whether you, as the potential franchisor, has the ability to provide the backup services to franchisees and are also a suitable person to deal with and motivate franchisees on a day-to-day basis. If your business is solvent, you could choose a managed close down with an orderly sale of assets as an exit option. But if your business is insolvent, then the directors will probably only have three choices, which is a company voluntary agreement where an insolvency practitioner will attempt to enter into an arrangement with the company creditors to accept a debt payment over time or reduce payment in total in order to save the company, or to appoint an administrator whose task it is to dispose of the company as a going concern, and that way realising the value for its creditors, or appoint a liquidator. Having identified the options that you have for your exit and perhaps chosen one or two that might work for you, what do you do next? Well, the best bet is to have a look at the exit barriers and do a SWOT analysis in relation to your company. So the strengths might be, in this particular example, good organisational structure, written terms and conditions, key contracts that are ongoing, a good shareholders agreement, and some decent tax planning that has taken place. On the weakness side, it could be that the business is losing money, that there are inadequate accounts, there is an imbalanced product portfolio, or perhaps gross margins are too low, and maybe there's low market share. All of those things could be addressed if you give some time and thought towards your exit strategies and at what point you wish to leave the business. There will be opportunities. So, for example, your business premises might be in a good place, or the opportunity to move premises. It could be that you're in an improving market and your market share could be increased. There could be good pest projections, that's political, economic, social and technology. The new potential clients could give you an opportunity to grow the business. And of course, if you've got an investment opportunity in new technology, all sorts of opportunities may come up. And there are threats that you need to consider. The intellectual property may not be protected, for example. You may have increased competition. Your staff turnover may cause an issue, particularly if you're going to exit the business. Statutory compliance may turn into being a bit of a threat for your business. And what about if the goodwill is not transferable when you yourself leaves? So there we have a significant number of things to consider when we're looking at exiting the business. Do go to the Hidden Edge website to download the templates, because you do need to look at this in some great detail. And whilst you're there, you might want to share some stories with us to help other people recognise how looking at and planning for your exit can be a really good, value-driven opportunity. So that's it from me this time. Until next tea break time, enjoy.